My story?
No, not your story, a story. Since you can't keep your mouth shut long enough for me to read my paper, tell me a story.
I don't think I know any stories.
You don't know any stories?
No.
All right, I'll tell you a story. This is a newspaper, right? It's 90% bullshit, but it's entertaining. That's why I read it, because it entertains me. You won't let me read it, so you entertain me with your bullshit. Tell me a story right now. Go.
My bag. Shit. My bag. Did I have the mute on? Yes, I did. So let's start this party off right again. Thank you for tuning in here. Another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I'm always your host, Edwin, where the all fights start.
Round one.
Let's go. So we're reviewing the top 5 pound for pound fighters in the world. What the consensus view as the top 5 pound fighters in the world. And I'm going to be putting them up the top 5. This is what the world views as the top 5 pound for pound fighters in the world and why they are viewed in such high regards. And if anybody on your list, whether it moves, alters, or you want to add someone, I would like to hear what you think of just the top 5. Sometimes, uh, people want to talk about all top 10, right? And honestly, you know, great for the number 9 guy, the number 10, the number 7, but I'm more interested in the top 5, the top 3, and the 2 that's threatening to take their spots. And there can always be like a surprise fighter that makes a big jump. In today's standards, popularity goes hand in hand with the pound for pound. It seems like the more popular you are, the further you can get on the list. So since recent fighters like Jaron Boots Ennis got a pretty big win over young Xander Zayas, right? A lot of people are talking him up. And there are a lot of other fighters that are being talked up on the pound for pound list. But notice the key word, talked up. Talked up. Please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, people. Help the channel grow. Listen. All right. We're going to be putting up right now, like I said, we're going to share right now before I get into the breakdown of all 5 of what the boxing gods deem to be the top 5 pound for pound fighters. Not my list, not your list, but this is where the guys, the people that are in power to put out the message, these are the top people right here. So we're going to be putting them up. Let's here we go. Bingo. You want to do okay, why don't we're going to do Ring Magazine first. So this is the Ring Magazine top 5 pound for pound fighters in the world. Okay? This is see it right here on the left-hand corner, pound for pound. Okay, this is their top 5. They have at number 1, coming in at number 1, you have Naoya the Monster in Naoya Inoue from Japan. He's an undefeated fighter sporting a professional boxing record, 33 wins, 27 big ways by knockout. He's the number 1. The number 2 they have is Alexander Usyk. Now, he has a boxing record of 25 wins with 16 big ways by knockout. And he was the former heavyweight undisputed champion of the world at one time. Right? All right. Coming in at number 3, you have Shakur Stevenson. He's sporting a professional boxing record of 25 and 11 knockouts. Undefeated. Notice the pattern here. That so far the top 3 fighters, best fighters in the world, are to meet the specifications and to their standard, they're all undefeated. Just the top 3. Let's continue. The 4th guy, Jesse Bam Rodriguez. He's coming in with a professional boxing record of 24 fights, 17 big ways by knockout. Also undefeated. David the Monster Benavidez coming in at number 5. 32 fights, 26 big ways by knockout, undefeated. The top 5. The 6th fighter is Demetrius Bivol, 25 and 12 with 1 loss, right? Is that 1 loss or no contest? What is that? 1 loss. Ooh, 1 loss. Bam. Right underneath him is Junto with 1 loss and Devin Haney. But anyway, we're breaking down the top 5. So David the Monster Benavidez is reviewed as the 5th, and they gave him that ranking from beating what I believe was Zurdo. In boxing, you have to understand the level of difficulty. The reason why David the Monster Benavidez catapulted to number 5, I believe, was because of the task at hand. The bigger the risk, the higher the reward. He jumped up 25 pounds. Now, you might say that Zurdo and David the Monster Benavidez wasn't a mega fight. No, it wasn't. No, because it was Zurdo, right? Okay, fine. But the challenge, you cannot ignore that. And because of such a feat, he was awarded such a high ranking, I believe, in the pound for pound. And that's where we'll start. We'll start with David the Monster Benavidez. David the Monster Benavidez has a record of 32 fights with 26 big ways by knockout. And because he jumped up 25 pounds and beating Zurdo and taking his 2 belts, that's going to be on some pound for pound shit right there. And see, David the Monster Benavidez didn't get his big fight, which was with Saul Canelo Alvarez. What's up, guys? What's up, Frontline? How you doing? Good morning. What's up, chat? Lowe's Nose Boxing. How you doing? I'm just someone. How you doing, brother? Shout out to you guys. Jason in the building. What's up? So, I view David the Monster Benavidez not on super fights. I'm not going to give him the David Morrell fight, seeing that he got starched. And previously to that, he was dropped in that fight in New York on the tennis court. Don't tell anybody. Okay? So I'm saying to myself, right? Okay, I can see why he was placed there. Now, before we go any further, and I get too far ahead of myself on breaking these boxers down, let's check out another list. Wait. Here, let's check out another list. Shall we? Okay, I'm going to replace this one. How do we do this? Okay, let's replace this with, let's go with BoxRec. Okay, this is BoxRec's pound for pound list of today. In BoxRec, they have Naoya Inoue coming in at number 1, right? They got Naoya Inoue coming in at number 1. They got Alexander Usyk coming in at number 2. David the Monster Benavidez coming in at number 3. Jesse Bam Rodriguez coming in at number 4. And Shakur Stevenson coming in at number 5. They have the same 5 fighters, just slightly different orders. So the consensus is that these are the top 5 fighters, no matter where you place them or how you view it. These are the top 5 fighters. Now, the argument is right now in my head, right? The argument is, okay, how can Usyk hang on to that number 2 spot? Fighting a guy with a 1-0 record, a kickboxer that took him to life and death. If it wasn't for that referee, if he lets that man go out on his shield and he goes to the 12th and final round, he might beat Usyk. He was up on the scorecards. So, guy up in the scorecards, I understand the outcome of the fight. Highly controversial, if you ask me, the stoppage. When this man, Rico here, he can fight like that. His entire fighting, they showed him fighting tired. He was a kickboxer taking kicks, full kicks to the head. And you felt you had to save that guy? Yeah, right. Then you vacate all your belts. So you vacate your status as the king. You are no longer the king, and you're coming off that kind of performance. You're seeking another fight, but I honor and I respect what you're doing. Usyk, if your heart's not in it anymore, and you felt like you've done what you're gonna, don't hold up the division. Allow the other fighters to fight amongst themselves to work out world champion, to become world champion. You've already done what you had to do. So in your case, Usyk, you're going the more honorable way. And in doing so, though, I must honor that there's no favoritism in the pound for pound world. Unfortunately, I see what you're doing, but by giving up your status, that is exactly what you're doing. You're no longer fighting top level competition. You're just getting these money bag grabs, but you want to hold on to your status because of once upon a time what you did. I think that boxing needs always to move forward. We loved you for what you did, what you gave us. Look, it's no hard feelings. It's just on with the next. You know how it goes. So I don't know if Usyk can hold on to even the top 3 spots with that performance, giving up your reign, and you're basically saying your era is done. Allow the rest of the guys to breathe. That would be like if we allow Terrence Crawford to be on the pound for pound list right now. Just to put a big star or name up there. That's not fair. Terrence is serious about this retirement shit. And it doesn't look like he's budging. So if he's retired, let's keep it moving. I don't know how Usyk holds on to that spot. But, okay, this is what they're saying. You understand? So, the number 3 fighter, which Ring Magazine has, is Shakur Stevenson. As you can see, BoxRec doesn't feel the same way. They don't think Shakur Stevenson is the number 3. They think he's the number 5. They're saying that win off of Teofimo Lopez, good win, good scout, but not on your level as skills. I'm not sure if a lot of people had Teo in the fight, Buddy supporters. And they probably talked a couple people to the other side. But boy, was it a one-sided event. It was fairly no competition. Shakur was in there fighting himself. Sorry, Teo. Shakur was just a better boxer, smarter, quicker, and he utilized all that and gave you a pretty good ass whooping. I ain't never seen nobody whoop Teo like that. George Kamboza, Teo was out of control, cut eye. It looked bad. It looked bad, but that fight was competitive. Teo knocked him down in the fight. Teo was winning rounds in the fight with George Kamboza, so it was competitive. with Shakur Stevenson, it was a one-sided event. It was like they named streets after Shakur one way. That's the only way traffic was going. But because of the fact, like I said, because of the fact that David the Monster Benavidez took such a risk that, Shakur Stevenson didn't jump up 4 or 5 weight divisions, which in comparison to the 25-pound weight jump that David the Monster Benavidez did from 175 to 200, that's 25 pounds. I say 4 to 5 weight divisions because you can, from like 118 to 122, 4 pounds, to 122 to 126, 126 to 130, 135, you know what I'm saying, 140, and etc. You can get 4 or 5 weight divisions. The amount of weight that he did in one move, it was bigger than the Terrence Crawford weight jump to fight Canelo Alvarez. So that, my friends, is why I think David the Monster Benavidez got such a high praise. It really wasn't the opponent was decent. That plays a factor. Zundo's above average. Okay, he had 2 belts. Come on, guys. I don't want to hear that shit. Zulu was good enough to get those belts, then hey. Okay? But it was the accomplishment. And that's why I think that BoxRec views David's win much more difficulty in the sense of Shakur beating Teal. And that's why I believe they put him at number 3. Like that. So what did BoxRec have him at? Box had him at number 3. And BoxRec has Jesse Bam Rodriguez at number 4. And then they got Shakur Stevenson, number 5. Now, Ring Magazine has Naoya Inoue, number 1, Usyk, Shakur Stevenson, Jesse Bam Rodriguez, and David the Monster Benavidez is their 5th. Okay? But both, pound for pound, have the same top 5 fighters. And I want to know, are these top 5 fighters the right pound for pound fighters? And who do you think should move up the list? Now, I can tell you right now that in the hood boxing, barbershop boxing talk, this doesn't match their list. It doesn't match their list. When you hear their list, just because they pick all the brothers, perhaps, and we say, yo, that's a biased list, they're gonna say, how's it biased if we're picking our guy and we're telling you that our guy is clearly better than your guy type shit? But how dare we pick these guys? And if any of those guys happen to be your own nationality other than theirs, they're gonna say, yo, you're being biased. You're being biased. Because hood barbershop list, that shit starts off with Shakur Stevenson. Garon Boots Ennis is on it. Who else is on it? They got shit. They even got a Shockey Foster on that motherfucker somewhere. Yeah, they all you should see this list. And I'm sitting back and I'm looking at the list and I'll say, but if anybody calls you out on your list, then we're the bad guys. It seems to be like that everywhere. Everywhere. And I don't get it. I'm scratching my head. I'm like, wow, like, okay. So what you consider me being biased and I call you out on the same thing, all of a sudden you're not. So look, there are a few people, boxers, that potentially have the ability to get placed higher on the list. Let's see where their careers end up. But as of right now, Jaron Boots Ennis does not belong on the top 5. No, not yet. Potential? A lot of potential. Shit, he got the potential to take the number 1 spot. Them boxers better be careful. Naoya Inoue, he might walk out on top, And I think the next person that might surprise everybody is just going to be Jerron Boots Ennis. He's probably going to be the top dude when if the fights he wants falls in order. That run can be legendary. That's the kind of run that will shut up all the doubters. I mean, you're gonna get people saying shit about Jerron Boots Ennis, of course. They say anything about any boxer. But that man, yo, listen, guys. My opinion, 154-pound weight division is the best division right now in boxing. That's my opinion. I don't know what you view, what division you like, but I'm telling you, I believe that the 154 is hands down the best division in all of boxing. If Jerron Boots Ennis can fucking beat Virgil, you guys, we're gonna talk about all the Virgil news and everything. We'll get to that. If he can beat Virgil, Sebastian, Josh Kelly, and make a run for undisputed, that's gonna be a better run than Terrence Crawford's run at 140. It's going to be a better run than Terrence Crawford's run at 147. And it's definitely going to be a better run than just beating one guy at 168. Those names with Xander's name on that, you got Xander, undefeated fighter. You got a potential of going up and taking Virgil's 0-2, by the way. He's another undefeated fighter. Yo, that would be a great. You won't be able to deny Jerron Boots Ennis at that point. If Naoya Inoue is still there, depending, because he can fight Bam Rodriguez. That would be a pretty impressive run. He would got Bam, Junto, like, Junto's a 3-division world champion. So isn't Bam. Like, the fuck are we talking about here? These are 3-4 division guys by this time that they get there. But yeah, then I think Naoya will be on his way out of boxing. He'll be on his way out. You can't say that just because Jerron Boots Ennis gets undisputed, if he gets undisputed, he should beat Naoya Inoue. Bullshit. Naoya Inoue's been undisputed for over going on 2 years. Bullshit. Bro, Naoya Inoue by that time will have like almost 10 title defenses on all 4 belts. No one in boxing history has a run like that. No one has defended 4 belts 8 times in the history of boxing. So him getting undisputed, Jerron Boots, although exciting, it would be, yes, it would be very exciting for the young man. Yes. I'd be very proud of Jerron Boots Ennis if he could do that. He would shut up a lot of fucking people. And, that would be fucking, he would shut up a lot of people. And he would deserve it, the number 1 spot. But what's right is right and what's fair is fair. Naoya's going to look at him like, what took you so long? I've been here. I've been doing this. By the time you got here, and by time Jerron would have secured all 4 belts, Naoya would have 10 straight undisputed title defenses. Say that with me again. 10 straight undisputed title defenses, and he would have been on his 30th consecutive world title fight. Let that sink in. 30 title fights in a row. In a row. Jerron Boots Ennis, it would be a great run. Great run, bro. But it's hard to beat this Japanese dude, bro. I told you guys. I've been watching this Japanese dude for 10 years now. For 10 years. And I've been making video after video after video on this Japanese dude. And I've been telling the world. But it seems like a lot of people have been listening. Yeah, a lot of my supporters, and I get a lot of views for the dude, right? So I can't say the world hasn't been listening. But y'all ain't been listening. Y'all are stubborn, hard-headed. them Canelo fans and them Terrence fans and them David the Monster Benavides fans. You guys just want to see the big guys. What I mean by fans that only want to see glamour divisions, all you guys like that, didn't bother to look down at the lower weight divisions. All you guys, all you dudes that always, oh, how much does he weigh? How big is he? And the little guy, when you look at him, man, listen, I get it. I get it. But I was telling you guys, you guys are going to wait until this freaking Japanese dude puts himself in a position where you're not going to be able to deny him. And look where we're at. No one stopped him. No one could. He's that good. He really is. He's fucking great, man. Jesus Christ, is he good? He's not good. He's great. And he's at the top of the food chain now. He's the money fight. In Japan, he's a rock star. He don't need America. You should see these crowds that form around this guy. It's like waves of people. It's ridiculous. That man can't go outside in Japan. Listen, he's rich. A bantamweight fighter making $42 million. He was reported to make like upwards of like 60 or some shit like in 2025. Let that sink in. Really let that sink in. Name me one bantamweight fighter that got paid $3 million, 3.5 to fight a fight in the history of bantamweights without fighting Naoya Inoue. You can't use Scooter. You can't use anyone that fought him because the reason why they got that money is because they fought him. Name me any super bantamweight, flyweight that made upwards of tens of millions of dollars. Anyone. Help me out here. Who are the best bantamweights, the best from 122 in the history of boxing? Who? We had a lot of good guys down there, right? Even Manny Pacquiao was down there, right? What did he do? How much did he get paid down there? Where were Manny Pacquiao's biggest fights? Glamour division. When he got there is when he made his money. Who makes this kind of money? Who fights like this? And who's going on a run like this today? There is no one. Currently, right now, the only boxer that has all 4 belts is Naoya Inoue. He's the only boxer that can seem to juggle all 4 and respectfully do it the proper way. All these other guys got hiccups. They're constantly getting stripped for their belts, not honoring mandatories. Naoya Inoue did everything by the book. He said, you got a mandatory? Is he next? I'll fight him. Is he next? I'll fight him. He doesn't seem to have any problem with any of the belts or how he chooses to honor. No. What'd you say? You're going to strip me? You're going to take my belt? Come on, MJ. Let's go. Next. He beat them all so bad that the mandatories ain't signing no more. What? Have you heard any of his 4? He has 4 belts. What's the last mandatory besides MJ that ever wanted to fight? They're like, yo, they opting out. They're like, man, shit. Alan David Picasso was basically forced to fight the man. Well, he was going to probably lose his ranking. They saved it for him. Like, they told, yo, no, he needs to fight him now. Or you will go back in the back of the line. Like shit. I bet you they put a gun to that man's head. Nobody wants to fight this dude, bro. This dude's crazy. They're rumoring a fight between Naoya Inoue and Bam Rodriguez, which I'm here to tell you right now. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. That's what it's going to sound like. The record scratch. That Jesse Bam Rodriguez and Naoya Inoue fight is never going to happen. Sorry. Ohashi is talking about rumors about potentially next year, February, having a fight with Jesse Bam Rodriguez and Naoya Inoue. And honestly, fight fans, I don't think that fight's going to happen. And the reason why I don't think it's going to happen is because Robert Garcia is a smart coach, a very, very smart coach. And he has an even smarter student in Jesse Bam Rodriguez. Jesse Bam Rodriguez saw quickly the hurdle that was in front of him when he made one weight division jump. He got touched up a little bit too much in that fight. And he felt the guy's power in that fight. We all know he's not a big power puncher. And you haven't even made it to 122 yet to make the jump. Now, Jesse Bam Rodriguez can dare to be great. It's his right. He will really surprise me if he takes this fight. Why? Because at that point, they can no longer back him. They sent the message out, hoping that he would not take the fight unless he had better preparation. Because I feel that the Mexican has a real good chance on beating Naoya Inoue, but properly prepared. Not rushing him up into the biggest fight of his life. I think he's going to lose. But if you gave Jesse Bam Rodriguez the right amount of time, and in doing so, he can push Naoya Inoue in age to a point he might not take the fight. Because he's not going to want to risk it now. You understand? So, I think the only way we get this fight, if it's Bam Rodriguez is brave enough, daring enough to take the fight. Naoya Inoue, we don't question him. He's sitting there. He accepts all challenges. He's just a king on his throne with his crown, all 4 belts, draped in that fucking king's robe type shit with his little scepter. That's Naoya Inoue. He accepts all challenges. Anybody that can prove that you are worthy for my status, this is what I built. I'm Naoya Inoue. This is what I built. I don't want to hear anything about who you are, where you come from, what you can do. None of that shit. That shit does not faze a man like this. A man like this, he sits at the throne alone. It took him 6 months. Say it with me. 6 months to get all 4 belts in his division. 6. That's it. And since that time, he's been on a tear. He's been on a tear. For a man that each time he jumped up a weight division, he's too small. He's a hype job. He's not this. He's not that. Really? Really? Then who's stopping him? Go get him. Go get him. And tell him that Naoya Inoue is coming. He's right there. If anyone, and I mean anyone, says what Naoya Inoue is doing is so fucking easy, why isn't anybody else doing it? That's all I'm saying. Why hasn't anyone copied him? Shit. Why hasn't Jesse Bam Rodriguez copied him? I thought they said Junto was going to wipe down Naoya Inoue. That's what I thought they said. They said Junto was the guy. It takes a ninja to beat a ninja. Well, you picked the wrong ninja. It did. You were right. It did take a ninja to beat a ninja. It was just Naoya Inoue was the ninja master. That's it. He done broke and fractured Junto's orbital. Where is Junto? Oh, he should be getting out of therapy right now for that fractured orbital bone, trying to correct his vision. fighting that monster. That's where undefeated, great division, pound for pound, Junto is. That's where Naoya Inoue packed him up and sent him to the hospital. He went to the hospital after the fight. Naoya Inoue, he went home. Like every fight, except the Donaire fight, he had to go to the hospital. Yes, he did. Right? He suffered the same injury. So, you got Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson, in my opinion, great boxer in his own right. But I might have to agree with BoxRec. You know, Ring Magazine got Shakur number 3, right? And I'm saying to myself, you know, maybe BoxRec does have this right. Because if we were viewing the status of the pound for pound is jumping up weight divisions. Yes, Shakur did jump up a weight division to fight Teo. I understand that. But David the Monster Benavidez' weight jump was much bigger. And tack on what Zuldo rehydrated to. Mind you, David the Monster Benavidez didn't even make 200 pounds. And he didn't cut a single pound. So he walked into the fight 196. He wasn't cutting weight. He didn't have to replenish. Where was he? He already was replenishing. He's going to add a few more pounds. Okay. Maybe 6, I think. About 6 or something. He could put on a couple more pounds onto that 296. He could put something on it. But Zurdo, come on, man. You know that dude blew up. Look how big he was. That's why David the Monster Benavidez' win. It was the win. But I understand the criteria of pound for pound. It's actually skills. What you do, what you fare against your opponent. That's another conversation where Shakur loses. Because although Shakur Stevenson had a hell of a performance against Teo, David stopped his guy. And you're only as good as your last fight. You're only as good as your last fight. That's why I think David might have, and then the argument's going to be that boxing pugilists and, boxing hardcores are going to say, well, round 1, you're wrong. Because of the fact that the eye test, Shakur Stevenson is a way better, fundamentally, structurally sound fighter than David. Although David is pretty decent up top, real flashy, strong, right? Has a great stiff jab, and I mean a great one, right? David the Monster Benavidez. Shakur Stevenson as a whole, as a fighter, his footwork, his ring IQ, his jab, his speed, his punch selection, everything it's slightly better than David the Monster Benavidez all around. So Shakur is the more complete fighter. And if you were viewing it as the more complete fighter, he would be number 3 over David the Monster Benavidez, and Ringside Magazine would actually have it right. So I can see both sides. And that's what I broke down. I could see how Ring Magazine got it, and I could see how BoxRec views it. You understand? So it's really how you, I guess, as a fan, because at the end of the day, it's you and I that are the most important piece in boxing, the viewer. Without us going to your fights or watching your fights, what is boxing? What is any sport? So we are the most important part of these fights. The people that will go out and actually pay to watch it. It's us. So I think that we have a big voice in who and how some of these fights occur and who do we want to see and but I think that the pound for pound list will always be a list of suggestions. It would be viewed, all of us have a difference of opinion. I can honestly say, though, in both these lists, I can agree with the top five. I can agree with the top five. Jaron Boots Ennis, he's trailing. Devin Haney, he's trailing. I think Devin Haney has a great potential to he can have a great run. He just needs the fights to happen. And as we can see from some of the announcements that Golden Boy and Oscar De La Hoya himself, I think back Thursdays, he had like this crazy wig on. He's looking like Bruce De La Hoya. You know what I'm saying? So he was coming out and saying Oscar Collazo is jumping up 2 weight divisions, right, to fight Ricardo Sandoval at 115. Now, I was like taken back by that. I was like, fuck, bro, Oscar Collazo. But he's still keeping his belts. So he's not vacating his belt. So if he loses, he go back. He's still the champion down there, which is cool. He's daring to be great. 2 weight divisions, Collazo? And you know why? He can't get these other champions in the ring with him. The frustration of being right there and not being able to get these fights. Not having the backing by the sponsors or the investors. They don't want to pay all that much money for the fight. But if I was Oscar Collazo, bro, if any time in my career I'll take one for the team, would be right now. Shit. Just make sure my team is paid. Make sure all my expenses are paid. Make sure that the sanctioning bodies are paid. I don't got to pay them. Make sure that all my bills are paid. Give me a couple bucks. Give all the money to him. Just get him in the ring. Get that third belt. Make a sacrifice, bro. Maybe make him an offer too good that he can't walk away. Just to secure legacy. I don't know if he's already tried, but jumping up 2 weight division is my spider senses are going off, and I'm saying to myself, bro, that sounds like a man that can't get the other fight. He's like, fuck it, who wants to fight? He checked the other weight division. Everybody had a fight or was doing something else. He went to the next weight division. Is anybody available? You, 2 belts, let's go. It makes me feel like that. I'm just like, yo, Collazo, bro. Jesus Christ, bro. 2 weight, yo, my man got skills, but is he gonna look like Collazo up there? That I have to see. Man, bro. We saw Bam Bam Rodriguez jump up 1 weight division and struggle. Just one. You're gonna get Collazo to jump up 2? Mm-mm-mm. Fucking Oscar, bro. Mm-mm-mm. I don't know what I think about that. I like the Puerto Rican taking a risk. I like it. I'm never scared of a man trying to dare to be great. If that's what he wants to do, go ahead. Uh, I gotta break that fight down more. I'm gonna have to take a better look at Ricardo again. Freshen up how I view him as a boxer, and we'll get back and we'll talk about that. We got the Virgil Ortiz and the Jaron Boots Ennis making headlines all over social media. And these guys, right, Jaron Boots Ennis and Virgil Ortiz, I want to know what you think about this too, right? Everybody's talking about the fight, but I haven't heard one person say this. Not yet. Well, I'm about to anyway. So, yo, guys, if Virgil Ortiz didn't take the first fight with his lawyer, Rick, there, right? Meridian, right? If he didn't take the first fight because they didn't come to an agreement over Virgil wanting $7 million, you mean to tell me that Virgil missed out on his opportunity to be the first person to beat Jaron Boots Ennis? Now he would be probably fighting Xander for the belts. It would be the same situation he would be in. It would just be the roles would be reversed. Okay. What I mean is, what is he going to take the fight for now? Less money? He's going to go under the 7 now because now Jaron Boots Ennis has 2 belts. So your lawyer did all this to get you less money? Would that make his lawyer look bad, incompetent as an advisor, a lawyer? Plus taking this huge part of my career, inactivity, no fights, and causing a ripple between me and my boxing promoter. What makes you think that Rick's ego and Oscar De La Hoya's ego are going to walk into the same room and Rick's going to lower his head and ask for less money? That's where we're at. You guys believe that we're going to get this fight in 48 hours like Rick Marinium and these guys from Ring Magazine reported? Yeah, right. What are they trying to outshine how fast the Xander fight got made? Because since your announcement that you alerted the world, guess what you did? You're on the clock. You're on the clock. How fast can you get this done like Xander's fight was done with Jaron Boots Ennis? And how much bullshit are we being told? Bro, wasn't this the same thing they said? If I'm not mistaken, the first time Oscar De La Hoya and Virgil Ortiz said they were fighting Jaron Boots Ennis, what were the same things they said? Negotiations is almost finalized. Negotiations, we're almost done. The Jaron Boots Ennis fight and Virgil Ortiz done is in its final stages of negotiation. That's the same shit they said the first time. What am I missing here? I've seen this movie before. I don't like the ending. How many times I got to remind y'all? I don't believe anything they say. And I told you, until the day I actually see Jaron Boots Ennis coming out the locker room and Virgil Ortiz coming out of his locker room, making their way to the ring, will I believe the fight is actually happening. We are talking about Virgil Ortiz here, right? Are we on the same page? This guy? And Jaron Boots Ennis, you ain't no better. I remember when Tio offered to fight you, you said no. I remember a couple guys offered to fight you, you said no. I'm not sure. Listen, yeah, you took Xander. 23-year-old Xander, you knocked him out, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, blah, blah.
Okay. Right? Well, what else did you do? What else? So, Jaron Boots Ennis is in the position to shut a lot of people up, though. If he can put this fight together, now let's just do the math. He just fought Xander. So you're going to have to give this at least 2 months promotion. 3 months should, right? But, you could squeeze 2 months, 2.5 months, somewhere around there, rather than, while the promotion and everything's going on and shit. You know, you're gonna want to get a good training camp for this one. Jerron Boots Ennis doesn't need a long training camp. No, he doesn't. He's just coming off of a fight. Now, Virgil, no, he doesn't need a long. Virgil just fought less than a year ago. So he doesn't need a long. Well, you know, Virgil could start a little earlier. Well, it's not going to hurt. You know, once he knows that the fight got signed, him and Robert Garcia can get into training camp. They're right. They don't got to wait for Jerron Boots Ennis. So it would be more favorable, I would think. But let's say roughly 5 months. 5 months. Let's give it 5 months. Okay. And from let's say July. Let's give it from July. Since all this news is breaking and they're gonna get it done in 48 hours, right? Okay. Okay. Right? Let's see. So we'll give them 5 months from now. Is when that would be a pretty good turnaround for Jerron Boots Ennis. And to tell you the truth, I think he could handle it. He didn't suffer a lot of damage in the fight with Xander. He definitely didn't suffer with the Lima fight. He didn't, you know. So Jerron Boots Ennis is good. And Virgil Ortiz is well rested. I don't see why you can't get this fight. It would be a quick turnaround for Jerron. I gotta admit that. But not so quick. Anyway, he was fighting 4 times a month. I mean, not 4 times a month. I said that backwards. 4 times a year, which equals to every 4 months. So every 4 months, he was basically fighting. If he fought 4 times in a calendar year, that's what I spoke too fast. But yeah, so the 5 months is good. That's like it should be like the norm. That's just, that's why I said 5. It could be sooner, maybe a month sooner. I don't know. Or it could be later, way later. I'm talking a year, people. Now these Americans do, right? We get lazy. We get success and we get lazy. I don't know why, man. These overseas dudes, they get the belt. They get more dangerous. They want to accept more challenges. They're like, now, shit, we got the belts. Now it's time to shine. Americans get the belt and it's time to party. AK, Disney World. Like, what the fuck is wrong with us? We got to change that shit, man. For us, for our young guys coming up, we got to change that. We got to show them that we can compete. If you're in a professional setting, in a professional sport, it's your job as a professional athlete to give to your sport. The more you fight, the more eyes view boxing. Collectively, if each fighter feels the same way, they keep boxing on fire. All together, all the boxers can do that. But they gotta be professionals. They gotta fight. And even if you didn't fight the best, your fans are still gonna support you. But you gotta give us something in between. It could be the best fight, not so much the best. Not so much the best. You know what I'm saying? That's the way it should go. That is the perfect way. I'm not expecting every guy to go out there and the best. Bro, your brain will be mush by your sixth fight. Your career will be over. You'll be battered because you're getting the top of the top of the top of the top constantly. You're going to take a lot of damage and by big hitters. You got to know how to space it up. You got to space it up. And it's also good for the buildup. You're at home like, well, the last guy he fought was decent, but he wasn't that great. We need another fight. And then the next guy, well, this guy was slightly better, but he wasn't that great. And then the announcement of a big one. Now you've been waiting for this. I'm going to go to that fight. But if you were spoiled And it was best at the best at the best. And that's what you expected? I think you would be a spoiled fan. I think that adds that when you finally fight that guy, the buildup, and these fight promoters try to work on that. But it's very, very hard to get a superstar. Mind you, the top superstars in boxing live in a 1%. There are like roughly, I don't know, 10, 12 stars in boxing. 10, 12, if that. Out of how many guys? Like, what? There's 17 weight divisions. There's roughly over 1,000 dudes in every division. It might be 2,000 in one division, maybe even 3,000 in another. But on average, so that's 17,000 dudes. So just roughly, let's just say 18,000 fighters, boxers currently in the world, just a rough number, right? There's only 12 stars. Would you consider that a 1%? Out of 18,000 dudes? Man, listen. So this sport, man, it's funny. It's funny because we demand so much from these fighters. And when they win, we say that their victory wasn't all that. When they make it look easy. When Terrence Crawford went out there and starched Errol Spence Jr., the fans had so many excuses. But the only thing they weren't saying was Terrence Crawford was better than Errol Spence Jr., and because of that, he won based off his skills. What all you heard, the strongest sound, the voice was, that wasn't Errol. That's not Terrence Crawford's problem. As long as Terrence Crawford looked like Terrence Crawford, that's all you needed to worry about, am I right? When do these fighters ever get their just dues? Whenever do they get their credit? Shit, you got Naoya Inoue, which is, come on, guys. He is just the best skilled fighter we have. No one just wants to come out and say it. They're going to say the guy they like. When do these fighters actually ever get their real just dues? And the answer to that, I think, is never. Because boxing's subjective. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody has a different viewpoint. And I don't think anybody's wrong. I don't think I'm right. I don't think you're right. I think we are entitled to our opinion. And I think that some of these boxers in boxing, some of them will never, ever, in fact, get their full credit. Terrence Crawford, in some form of another, is on somebody's Mount Rushmore out there. This mysterious, fake boxing Mount Rushmore. I don't know who made it, but they need to tear it down. They need to tear that shit down because Terrence Crawford, this is crazy. I talk about putting the cart before the horse and allowing the legacy and the legend of the fighter to catch up to the fighter. In today's era, we live in a world where we put the cart before the horse. I don't know how you're going to make it down the street with the cart leading the way and the horse walking backwards. It's not going to work. But in today's era, the viewer and a lot of the boxing crazy people, they put Terrence Crawford on a Mount Rushmore He doesn't belong on yet. What they're doing is they're saying eventually he will be there. So we're putting him on now. Shame on you. Shame on you. Terrence Crawford is going to have one of the biggest accomplishments, one of the biggest awards, 3 division, all 4 belts. Congratulations. You just don't have the champions. You just don't have the mega fights like that. You got about 2 mega fights or big fights on your resume, which pretty decent in its own right. But here's the real kicker. The real kicker. I thought that the Mount Rushmore of boxing, you would at least have to be in the Hall of Fame. At least. Terrence is not in the Hall of Fame. Not that he's not going. He's a shoo-in. First time ballot. 100%. Right? But can we let him get there first? Cart before the horse. Round 1, we know he's going to be there. I know Tom Brady's going to get into the Hall of Fame, but is he in there yet? Let him get into the Hall of Fame, bro. You seen they just denied Belichick. So you never know. You never know. If they deny Terrence Crawford, I'll burn. Let's burn that bitch down. We will boycott the Hall of Fame. If they better never do that. Come on, they can't deny Terrence Crawford, could they? No. Bro, I would never ever accept anything from the Hall of Fame, Boxing Hall of Fame again if they denied Terrence Crawford on the first ballot. The Hall of Fame wouldn't be shit to me. I would from that day forward, I would not. You can't deny Terrence Crawford, but we gotta let him get there first. We have to let him get there first. And then the men that are on the Boxing Hall of Fame, I mean, not Hall of Fame, on the Mount Rushmore of boxing, the men that are on the Mount Rushmore of boxing, to be put on that type of list, there's different criterias. And to be put on a Mount Rushmore, you would have had to do much more than just get 3 divisions, all 4 belts. That's not cutting it. You see, you have to be in boxing as a whole. As a whole. To be that kind of legend, to be that kind of revered, you would have had to do the trifecta. You need to have the trifecta, meaning you had to be the face of boxing, the pound for pound, and the best fighter. Those 3 trifectas that accomplishment was accomplished by very few fighters. You would need that kind of criteria to be on the Mount Rushmore of boxing. Ali had all 3 criterias. Floyd Mayweather had all 3 criterias. And you're just going to put Terrence with 1? I'm not. No, he might have had 2. Terrence might have had 2. He didn't get 3. But Terrence had 2. Oh yeah, oh shit, wait a minute. Got this, yeah. Because, oh well, damn, Terrence did not have 2. Oh man. Yeah, I can't put Terrence on that fucking Mount Rushmore, bro. I tried in my head. I tried. Trust me, I tried. I tried to put him up there. But if I'm being honest, man, if it was up to me, I'd put him on there. But nah, man. Fucking Sugar Ray Robinson, Joe Louis, they had all 3. Those kind of men had all 3. Like there's a few guys that had all 3. Manny Pacquiao. had all three. At one point in time, like, and just because he's undefeated, Terrence, so you can't even use the undefeated record on the Mount Rushmore because, as we all know, an undefeated record is only personal. There's no accolade that says, "Oh shit, Floyd 50-0." That's never been done before. Bullshit. Has been done a lot. Countless of fighters retire undefeated. That's nothing. I mean, it's impressive that you weren't beaten throughout your career. Yo, that it's not something to look down on or anything. Like that's impressive. It's not an actual record. It's not an accolade. So being undefeated doesn't merit you the fucking Mount Rushmore. No. Floyd's not on the Mount Rushmore because he's 50-0. He's on the Mount Rushmore because he fought 26 world champions, 5 weight divisions, fucking 20-something belts. That's what Floyd is on the Mount Rushmore for. And pound for pound status and popularity. What kind of star status, power, influence, what change? The fighting world changed because of Floyd. The fighting world changed because of Muhammad Ali. You had kids out there float like a butterfly. Think that's a Mount Rushmore fighter. You have to give in every way. Not a legend, not honor. Not honor. Like, this guy got 99 title defenses. Wow, you belong on that Mount Rushmore with that much shit. I shouldn't have said that much, but that's a big stretch right there, round one. Right? 99 shit. He belongs up there. But, okay, you're not going to get on there for those kind of runs. Bro, there was a champion that exists that has 100% knockout ratio throughout his career. 17 world titles and has 100% knockout ratio there. In his time, he had 100%. No one can beat him. And he's not on the Mount Rushmore. He's not on the Mount Rushmore. How the hell is Terrence Crawford on there? Does he have 100% knockout ratio in all title fights? About 100% knockout ratio in all of his regular fights. How does he get up there? Popularity? A good guy? Oh, shucks. He's a good guy. He does a lot for the community. Bro, that's great. You got a cup. Terrence checks off some of the boxes. That's why it's hard to ignore him. He does check off some boxes. And as right now, for me, for American fighters, he is the best American fighter in and out of the ring. Terrence has more class in his pinky than half these little punks in boxing. Terrence has he's giving back to boxing more than the average fighter, hands down. And Terrence Crawford, I salute him for being a man's man. I don't think he should fight Jaron Butenis. Terrence, please, bro, please hear me. Hear me, man. If anybody clip this, get this back to Mr. Terrence Crawford, the champ. Terrence, bro, don't let these American dudes push your buttons. Don't. You've been doing great all this time, Terrence. The reason why you don't fight Jaron Butenis is because of what you said. Not because what have I said. Because I heard you loud and clear, Terrence. You don't want to be the man to give that man his first loss. Why they got to send another brother to take down another brother? An American taking out an American. Why? They try to do it to Naoya anyway. Japan went and sent a Japan dude to knock off another Japan dude. And they went for it. And now it had to be a Japan dude to take him. When you're at the top, sometimes it's just you and your brother. Sometimes you got to fight. Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford. Cool squabble. I respected it because they did it the right way. They cleaned out the whole division, and it was only them two standing. Now we fight. Perfect timing, right? That's when I accept the American versus. But it's America versus everybody. We're competing. It's Mexico versus everybody. It's Japan versus everybody. UK versus everybody. It's where you're from. They take the belts, they bring it back home. We got to go get those belts, bring them back to the US. Boxing is like the Olympics, and these are the gold medals. We're fighting for those belts. Terrence Crawford understands that in actuality, Terrence Crawford and Jaron Boots Ennis are on the same team. They represent USA. And Terrence Crawford doesn't want to take Team USA against Team USA, be able to beat them. What Terrence Crawford is saying, why don't you go get a Russian? Why don't you go get a Japan guy? Why don't you go get a Frenchman, a UK guy, a Canadian? Get someone else. I'm not going to do your dirty work. I'm tired of us. You guys shitted on me my entire career, Terrence Crawford. You never gave me credit for any of my wins, but now you want me to be your fucking hitman. Take out my brother. That's what you want. And you got half the boxing world feeding into it, going back and forth. You know why? Because we in America were trained to go against one another. Chicago Bulls against the Celtics, two American teams. Pick your guy, pick your team. We are trained to attack one another. We don't see nothing wrong in the fact Terrence Crawford fighting Jaron Boots Ennis. We don't see nothing wrong in it. We don't understand that Terrence is saying, bro, I'm not going to be your little fucking dog. You're going to tell me to do your dirty work. If the young man is undefeated, Jaron Boots Ennis, and he's making his rise for Team USA, well, I'm staying out his way. It's the Boots era now. Instead of Terrence Crawford downing his own team, Terrence woke up and said, you know what? Let me get on board in supporting the next young black superstar. He's just supporting his own. But yet, fucking stream after stream, attacking Terrence Crawford, provoking him, wanting, fuck you, round one. We don't care about your set. We want to see his crop. I know what you want. You just want blood. But you're not seeing how they always get us to turn on each other at the wrong time. Yes, there is a time where we should fight each other. When we cleaned out everyone else, and it's only us. Now let's tango. We're going to pull you out into the dance floor. Let's go. They're playing our song. Now we fighting. But in some of these, I hear Terrence. I hear him. I'm like, yeah, Terrence, you right, bro. They are trying to fucking take us out. I remember that situation, right? With fucking Loma and Dennis Berinchik. And there were two Russian fighters, Ukraine fighters that had belts. 2 shots at our guy, Tank Davis. They wanted at the time Tank to fight, I think it was Klimchon or Shakur. And if they would have got them to take each other out, they would have all took each other out, the top Americans, and at the end, there would have been only one top American fighter left, and they had 2 chances to beat us. They were just sitting back, watching us attack each other. And I was sitting here saying, yo, y'all gotta watch out. Yo, Shakur, I know you don't like Tank. Fine, fuck it. But just respect that you guys are on the same American team. You guys have the same goals. Bringing the belts here so that we can have the most belts in our run, in our era. But if you guys take each other out, he still got 2 belts. So, like when every day, every month, that fucking chart goes up with all the countries that are leading the way. Who's in first place? What country has the most belts today? How many champions does Mexico have? How many champions does Puerto Rico have? How many champions US, Canadian, Japan, Russia, UK? Where are your champions coming from? We'll put all these belts on a list. Whatever country is on top is on top, and then we should talk to each other, right? Because you know how we do, because it's always love. Every single time we get one more belt in Mexico. Listen, that's a Latin thing, and I fucking love it. Shout out to my Mexican brethren. You know what I'm saying? If you just tune in around with Sports Talk, we have a different vibe here. And you hear me taking shots at another, it's just boxing shit talking 101. You know what I'm saying? It adds to it. And we love it because competition is competition. But I'm telling you, if we get one belt over in Mexico, right? Yo, we gonna let them know. We gonna let them know because that's our brothers, our Latin brothers, man, and they're always pushing us, and we're always pushing them. Without us, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know where boxing would be, man. There's just a lot of Latin countries that box, Cuba, Colombia. I mean, I'll be here for fucking, you know how it is, man. Latins, they just love fighting. Latin dudes, they just warriors, and they're always in the biggest fights. Latin dudes, it's always some Latin country in there rocking out. So, I'm real proud, of our Latin fighters, and you should be proud of your fighters in your country. Always. Never let anybody back you into corner and make you feel proud for being who you are and where you come from. I hope that your fighter and your champion brings you that pride. It's not, there's nothing like it. And I love boxing. I love combat sports, and I love all these fights. I like how, we can view these fighters in different ways. Pound for pound is a very prestigious old list, very subject, a lot of, the pound for pound list is subjective. Let's just be honest. It really is. Sometimes there's a clear victor. There have been some guys that were at the top that there was no argument. You're pound for pound number one. Like the Floyds, the Roy Jones era, shit like that. There was no argument between those kind of guys. The Ali's, shit like that. Those type of dudes that, but besides those kind of guys, you know, um, sometimes these lists can get misinterpreted by what the star status of the fighter outside of the ring. What I mean by that is that, who was it? Okay, for instance, Muhammad Ali was much more than boxing. For instance, Ali was bigger than boxing. Ali's status, when he talked, people listened. He was very knowledgeable, wise, real charismatic, had some of the best one-liners. And Ali's role outside of boxing and what he meant to the people was way bigger than boxing. And I think that Ali's career, reflected that. It was also amazing that Ali had the skills to back it. He was truly ahead of his time for a man in his era so young. Cassius Clay was a dog, but a talented one, a technical one. He was doing stuff guys didn't understand, and he was feeling this way. Ali was the type of fighter that he sensed things in a fight, like he made up the rope a dope in the fight. Not even his corner knew about the game strategy that he saw and implement. That's his boxing IQ, to be able to pick up on that and make those kind of decisions that ultimately win you the fight. So, but Ali was, his star status was just too, he was mobbed and adored by fans. And Floyd was another one that he had a huge star status. Manny Pacquiao was another guy that can do that. And a lot of these guys' star status, like Manny Pacquiao, because his star status was so big, they want to view him as the greatest or the best pound for pound fighter or so and so. And it's just that it's hard sometimes to separate the two, to separate star status outside of the ring to what actually happened during your career inside of the ring. And I think fighters like Ali, he was so adorned, so loved, so revered that he fought late into his old age. And somehow the boxing world gave him a pass on all of that. They don't, it's like that didn't even exist. Larry Holm fight, like, they don't talk about that shit. His star status was so strong. Manny Pacquiao, star status is so strong. They don't talk about all the times he got knocked out, all the 8 losses and shit. It's his star status is just too strong outside of the ring. And I think that a lot of people get that confused. Yeah, they do. And they think that the reason why Muhammad Ali belongs on the Mount Rushmore is because of his star status and how big he was. And that's not true. He actually belongs in there for his skills in the ring. What he did to Sonny Liston and yo, anyway, but Ali belongs on the because he was ahead of his time in boxing. Ali belongs on there because he changed boxing. He changed coaches and fighters actually tried to mimic him. When what you're doing in boxing is evolving the actual sport you're in, you belong up there. And you think that people would say round 1 put him up there because Ali was popular and flow like, no, I'm ignoring all that. I'm actually describing how to separate the two. The reason why Ali's on the Mount Rushmore, he was truly ahead of his time. So, people that change boxing in boxing, not your star status, your controversy, everything, dancing on the fucking dancing for stars. None of that shit's getting you on that fucking Mount Rushmore. It's what you did in the ring. Joe Louis, they were just dominant. And you would say, oh, Joe Louis, he fought this guy. But bro, no, he was ahead of the curve. These guys were training in the same gyms, had the same coaches. It was the same era, the same time. If you were looking like that against these guys like this, it shows you were better. That's it. Your era. That run is just crazy. Fighters like that, man. Just Sugar Ray Robinson. Damn, bro. How could you put Terrence Crawford in front of those guys? Then, on top of it, what a disrespect to the Japanese dude, Naoya Inoue. You're putting Terrence Crawford on the list You got one thing higher than Naoya Inoue. Just one. You got 3 divisions, all 4 belts. He has 2 divisions, all 4 belts. Okay. That's what you have on him. But after that, it's a landslide. After that, one achievement, Naoya Inoue's record completely wipes out Terrence Crawford. So how could one achievement catapult you over a body of work? Biasness. Americans. Oh shit, Americans made the Mount Rushmore? Where's the Mount Rushmore located? In America? Who's picking the guys that get on there? Americans? Well, gosh darn it. I guess Terrence Crawford looked ain't he from Omaha? Yeah. Come on, man. If man, get the fuck out of here, bro. It's not fair. That's not fair, bro. I'm an American, and I try to be fair, bro. This dude, man, he's just doing too much more, man. You can't ignore it just because you like him and you don't know nothing about him, bro. That's being biased. You're not even taking in consideration their actual records. And I mean, it's just a landslide. Terrence Crawford his record can't touch Naoya Inoue's record. Not even with a 10-foot pole. They don't even belong in the same conversation in the same room. You got one thing on me. Terrence, stay in that room by yourself. Because Naoya Inoue can't walk in your room. But your room is empty. It's you, right? Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Cool, empty by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Mililago. You know what I'm saying? 20-bedroom house. You know, nothing too fancy. You know, just by myself. Terrence Crawford. Right? Cool. But Naoya Inoue. Oh, Terrence, you got 5 divisions. Ooh. 5 divisions and ooh. You stay right there, Terrence Crawford. Don't you move. No side quests. Stay right there. Naoya Inoue, you gotta do something. You gotta do something, Naoya Inoue. He got 4 divisions. He got 4 divisions. You on that ass? I know you are, but can't give you that credit yet. Can't do it. You got to get that 5th. But damn, bro, back at it again. That title run, bro. That's his strongest fucking thing, bro. Naoya Inoue. That's just stupid. 28 consecutive world title fights throughout 4 divisions. How did you do that? That don't even make sense. Some shit, you can't even do that on PlayStation 5. You can't even, because when you move up weight divisions, they don't give you a title shot right away in the video game. He's getting title shots and using the champions as stepping stones as he moves out through divisions. Now that, my friend, that's where shit goes left. That's just impressive. And then on top of it, you got 8 title defenses on all 4 belts. 8. Terrence Crawford has never defended all 4 belts and none of the 3-weight divisions he has. Never. He ain't defended not one time did he go out there with all 4 belts and give somebody an opportunity to try to beat him. Out of all those 3 impressive 3-division, all 4 belt divisions, he's got 8 title defenses. No one in the history. So Naoya Inoue is in a room by himself with a real championship record. That's proven dominance, a run, a reign. And for all the time you were there, you didn't hold up the division. You fought the division. Terrence, where's your run? Your best run is where? Nowhere? No, no. Terrence Crawford's best run is at 147. It is for one belt, the WBO. It's not like his run was a unified run. It was a one belt run. Still a run. Still a run, right? I mean, yeah. He defended that fucking WBO, so shut up. A lot of times. So wasn't no 8 times in a row, but Neil Yan, he just beats him, bro. He just beats him, and I mean, they both got their interesting little things. Okay, wait a minute. Let's be real here. Boxing is based off divisions. If you could conquer multiple divisions, it speaks how dominant of a fighter you really were. To be honest with you, boxing is ranked on divisions, bro. The more divisions you have, the greater of a champion you are. Now, depending on what division you were at, and you claimed all the belts. The fact that Terrence Crawford has 5 divisions, and in 3 of the divisions, you can argue all you want how he got the belts. He fought one guy. I know. That doesn't fucking matter. He did it. That's what matters. So I don't want to miss me with the bullshit. He did it. So actually, Mr. Terrence, it's a tough one, man. Damn, bro, that's tough. Because in one hand, I could view Terrence as a better champion than Naoya anyway, because he has 5 divisions. Plus, he has the 3. So I'm like, boxing is viewed by divisions. Terrence a better fighter. What fucks it up, what really fucks it up, is the 8 undisputed title. You can't ignore that. What you're doing is you're getting all the belts. It's one thing to get all the belts. Once you get them, you're proving that your title run, you did it on Super Saiyan. You were the ultimate champion, not afraid to put everything on the line. You took it you went on a run at the highest risk. And you went on a run. Terrence said, I'm not going to give any man the opportunity on one night to take everything I got. Why don't you get it like I got it? Go get the belts one at a time. You know, or go get them or fight the best champion, but I'm not giving you a shot. So the Japanese guys' run was too strong. And then you attach that to 28 title fights in a row. Well, 4 divisions. So his run, I was telling you guys, man, I was fucking telling you guys, this guy is going to do too much shit that you guys are not going to be able to deny him. And that's exactly where we're at. That Terrence Crawford's 5 division, you would think with 3 divisions with all 4 belts, that would be enough. That should be enough. And I was telling you guys, bro, that Japan's gonna fucking outdo us. They're gonna outdo us. Watch. This dude ain't done. Y'all don't let him just. Bro, man, we thought we were so cocky and arrogant. We thought Scooter was gonna beat him. We done sent out Scooter, and he done came back with no Scooter Japan took his scooter. They took his scooter, sent him back home, beat up. Somebody's got to beat him. Japan even took a shot at him. His own country tried to stick him in the back. He's fucking great, man. This dude is amazing, man. And like, he can be beat. I just got to find the guy. 'Cause I don't favor anybody. Man, listen, I want to see Naoya Inoue in a fight. You fucking right, I do. I want to see somebody stand right in front of him and fucking show him, yo, there's your equal. Oh, I would love that. I will fuck Javante Davis. It's calling out Bam Bam Rodriguez. Do you hear that bullshit? Yeah, right. Anyway, that's just fake news. But if Javante was to come down and try to fight, that would be a great fight. That would be the fucking greatest fight ever. I need Bam to do it, but I'm just afraid that that fight's not going to happen, to be honest with you guys. I also don't think that the Virgil and Jerron Butenis fight's not going to happen either. I don't think Virgil fights Jerron Butenis. I think this is just another case of Virgil doing the same old Virgil Ortiz song and dance. How many times do I got to say it? We've seen this movie before. We do not like the ending. Time and time again, it's going to happen. So Sebastian Fedora and Virgil, nope, never happened. Virgil and Xander, nope, never happened. Karan and Xander, nope, never happened. Virgil and Terrence Crawford, nope, never happened. And you know, it's just gonna keep going on, bro, with this guy. I don't believe in him. I'm sorry, man. I don't believe in him. I don't believe in what's going on there. And it strikes me that, dude, you priced yourself out in the first agreement. So you're going to go back to negotiation now and get less money? And you want me to believe you're going to fight? 7 million, 3 million couldn't get you in the ring. They did offer you that. 7 is what you wanted. They didn't agree to it, so obviously you didn't get it. So we can't say the 7. But you, $3 million actually couldn't get you in the ring with Jerron Butenis. What are you going to take, 2 now? So you want me to believe you went through all that because you wanted more money just to come back to the table to get less money? Bro, I would fire my lawyer right there. You're working backwards, son. So do you actually think that negotiation is going to go great? Because Virgil's going to want at least the 3 million again. Bro, he ain't going to get it. He got no belts, and Jerron Butenis is the champion now. The unified champion. Virgil, you put yourself in a worse situation than you were in the first fight. But something tells me you're going to take it. Fuck out of here, bro. I don't believe it. I don't believe the fight's going to happen. I don't believe it. Bam can do it. The Bam. What? Remember, Virgil's dream fight is Errol Spence Jr. Yeah, a fighter that's inactive for 3 years. That's his dream fight. That should tell you all right there. Bro, this saga is getting crazy. Virgil's saga just continues. I don't know what to think of the man. I'm never going to call him the man a bum. Virgil Ortiz, you are a very skilled fighter, very strong puncher. I just don't believe you in your whole team anymore. I think that's a fucking circus show over there. Between all of you guys trying to do this juggling act and claim to give Virgil all the money. Rick, you have gotten your fighters big purses in the past, but I think that mindset is of you always look where you put Virgil at now. I can't see in any good world Ed Hearn coming back and saying, you know what, Virgil? Let's give you this, the 3 million again. Bullshit. Bullshit. Now my guy's the champion. I'm gonna want more. This is what I do this for. Promoter, for leverage. You think that we got here, got the belts to come back to the table and say what? The same deal? Things have changed. And the promoter's job is to recognize that about his fighter. Virgil, I don't see. No, these negotiations will not go through. Not in no 48 hours. You guys are on the clock. Nor do I think the negotiation is going to ever go through with Virgil and Jerome Bucenis. Yes, I said it. Here at Round One Sports Talk, I said it. Yes, I did. Because show me. Show us. We're the Round One Sports Talk chat. The community here. We know. Where are we from, guys? Show me state. Show me. Show me that you make that official in BoxRec. Show me you signed the contract. Show me that you both want this fight. Would it be a great fight? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, it would be a great fight. Virgil, and you just got to get him in the ring first. Then we can talk about the fight. I'm just on the line. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm tired with the bullshit. I've seen this before. I'm not going to fall for it again. Time and time again, I ain't falling for it. So now we just got to be more like, we got to be more patient on the fact that, you know, when these guys start saying all this shit, eating it right up, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that or what, but um uh oh shit. Grandpa's here. Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. I'm going out. I gotta Yo, sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. But the wheelchair people have to install my daughter's seatbelt because the wheelchair that she has, they bought her. Well, we got her a new one, right? So it's dope, right? It's like power chair and shit. It like goes up, goes down. She got it in pink, right? It's real dope. But the seatbelt, it popped right off. So I try to fix it. So they like, yo, it's gonna take like 3 months or whatever for them to come out to our house to do it. So I was like, so my daughter's gonna be without a wheelchair because they don't deem it safe for her to ride it in school without a seatbelt. So she would need the manual one. She has another one, a manual one. So I was like 3 months without her wheelchair because you guys can't come in and fix it. I was like, oh hell no. So round one, with some real Latin ingenuity, I went down to the junkyard, cut out a whole seatbelt out of a car, drilled a drill through it with a nut bit, bucked that in, went back to the school, drilled it into the chair, locked, worked. They went and sent out another seatbelt to replace the one I made because they're like, well, you made it. It's good work. It's good work. Man, that shit will last forever. They put in a new one. That shit broke in like 2 weeks. Again, it snapped. The same problem. So they sent the guy out. I had to sign for it. And they put a new seat. I watched when they give me mine. I told the guy, don't throw my seatbelt away, the one I made. Give me back my seatbelt because when your shit fail again, you're gonna have to put in my shit that's working. Because I just think their design is wrong. I don't know. But they made a better design. This one that they sent is a better one. So I seen it. I looked at it. I was like, yeah, that's a better one. So let's see how that one does. Well, sorry about that, but that's what happened. That's how important that was that I got up in the middle of a live and walked off of my live. I just want you guys to know I didn't just walk off with some bullshit. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is like my daughter's situation. If you're not like my youngest daughter, she was born with Arthur. J- I can't say it, bro. Me with names, orthocongenital biposis. It's like a rare thing. When she was in her mom's wound, she stood like this, and that's how she was born, just like that. Like her knees were bent in like that. They won't bend forward, so she can't walk. But everything about her is a 12-year-old girl. Yeah, she's always she's talking crazy lately. She's like Skippity, Ohio. What does that mean? She's like, Skippity, Ohio. So you guys help me with this shit. Let's be better parents and shit. Like, she's like, and that 6'7" is driving me crazy. 6'7", yo, bro. Like, my daughter's crazy. Like, we got a little posse. They all like do her thing. Like, but she's an amazing kid, and we had to. I had to fix that seatbelt thing. So excuse me for that. So anyway, um, where were we? Shout out to Grandpa. Yo, my daughter, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of things I gotta do, you know what I'm saying, to make sure she right. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you gotta like step in and fix these things like this. Like miraculously over the courses of the last few years, I've become like a wheelchair fucking expert. You got to be. I start taking that bitch apart, like the engine and shit. I thought about it a couple times to soup it up, like the idea, let's put extra, but I'm not trying to hurt my little girl. You know what I'm saying? She's not a little girl anymore. She's 12. She's big, but you know, she'll get crazy. We'll be out there with my electric bike, and her mother will kill us. So, but I've, for the most part, like, yeah, I gotta be real handy with that shit. There's like one company in all of freaking Massachusetts in the list to get them to come out to your house. Be like 6 months sometimes. It'd be for like stupid shit. One screw. This screw in the back fell off. 6 months. You get the fuck out of here, bro. I'll go to the hardware store, and that's what you gotta do. You gotta step up and take care. Like, so that's what I gotta do and shit. So that was something I had to go take care of. But anyway, guys, like I said, we were talking about all these interesting situations and fights in boxing, Virgil Ortiz's situation in boxing, and how you view, you know, what's Jaron Buzenis's next steps from here? A lot of these fighters right now have some big decisions to make. We're getting to that point in the year where, look, shout out to Teofimo Lopez. I want to mention this, that Teofimo Lopez, for the first time in a long time in his career, finally shut his mouth and kept his opinion to himself. He's learning, he's maturing. The reason why I say that, right? Because after the fight with who was it? Who was it? Oh, Joran Bucenis and Xander Zayas was fighting, and Teo was in attendance. So right after the fight, they quickly, you know how they always do, after every big fight, they ask a lot of boxers of what they thought of their performance and shit like that. And that sometimes came back and bit the fighter in their ass, because they go out there saying, this guy sucked, or this guy says he was this. I didn't see nothing special. And then when their fight comes out, they get starched. Then they go back and say, didn't you say this? And so Teo has been in a lot of situations where he criticized boxers' performances right after their victory or loss. So this fight right here, Teo was smart. When the reporter, whoever was interviewing, kept asking Teo, you think Xander sucked and Teo was too much for him? He kept his answers right to the point, sharp, short, and he made sure he wasn't misunderstood. But he gave props to both fighters. And that was it. He stepped back on his criticism, and he said, you know what? Thank you guys for giving us the fight. Basically, thank you, in his own way. I'm not saying exactly word for word, verbatim for what he said. I can't remember it right now. But when I walked away from the interview, I remember walking away from what he said and saying that was the right approach to take. Teofimo Lopez. Now that was the right approach to take, because now, he didn't talk shit about neither of them. He congratulated both of them for their performances and for their valiant efforts. He congratulated Jaron Bucenis for becoming a unified world champion. And he congratulates Xander for daring to be great. Now that's the way you should conduct yourself in an interview, my man. Just like that. So, shout out to Xander. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Xander. I think about him, want to throw the hat on and shit. Um, and it was cool that Teo did that like that. And other fighters should take note, because most of these reporters are setting you up for clickbait and getting you to say something, and all of a sudden posting it out. And when you fight, taking that very same clip and using it against you. So we got to, are you back to the boxing voice round one? I tried to go back today. In fact, I was, Ness started a show. I went on, I sat in the back for like 10, 15 minutes. Ness was doing some shit. I don't know what he was doing, but I couldn't see him on the screen. Sometime he's away from his laptop. He's talking to you on the headset, but he's in his house somewhere else, not looking at the screen sometimes. So I sat there for like 15 minutes. I don't know what the hell he was doing. And I just left to start my show. Because actually, Ness, on the topic today, I wanted to go on and talk about it with Ness and shit. See if he's calmed down. Give him a little while. Give Ness, just give him some time, man. Stay over here, do me. And I was just going to hop in today for like 10, 15 minutes, get in, get out type shit, not hang out for the long time. Because usually that gets me in trouble with Ness. Maybe if I'm on there too long with him, then he gets crazy, he gets all this shit. So maybe if I could dip in, say what up, blah, 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 and then just cut out after like, maybe an hour or so, check the flow and shit. Lately, Ness has been on me. So I'll be like, all right. So man, you know what I'm saying? He should be mad when we whooping his ass in boxing. You know what I'm saying? Dominican Republic, Dominicans ain't doing too good. You know what I'm saying? He might be a little salty at me. And every time a Puerto Rican guy takes a loss, he seems to like wanna like, you know what I mean? He claims to love us. I'm not saying that, but fuck you. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's all love. It's all love. You know what I'm saying? You argue with your brother or your cousin, what do? Walk out the room. I don't want to beat up my little brother or nothing like that. Or, so like mom said I can't hit him, so I gotta leave. I'll leave. But he's still my brother. You know what I'm saying? Still my boy, man. You know what I'm saying? So just definitely just, let the Xander loss go by, I guess. I don't know. That's just loves to rub that in, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. But cool, man. It is what it is. I always love talking boxing, though. That I'm a sucker for that. I'm a sucker for talking boxing, man. Yes, I am. And when I can get on with a group of guys that know what they're talking about, learn more, things like that, I'm always, that's my biggest thing, man. I say I don't want to go over there and talk to these dudes or anything, man, but it's like where else or who else, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I get that kind of level of boxing talk at that kind of like, you know what I mean? So it's always good to stay sharp. I don't like to always be like talking with just the old same old or just myself or just be stuck in my opinion. And on my show, I got my own group of guys, but it's usually at nighttime. And I'll go up or I'll drop the link. Like today, I just wanted to talk and just to share a little bit about this and shit like that. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. I still had to finish up a couple things there. Are you going back? Oh, yeah, I read that one. Okay. In a way, also be double wrapping and they allow different supplements over there about Naoya in a way and the double wrapping lie and the lie supplements. Okay, let's unwrap this. Let's unpack that. It's not the fact that Naoya Inoue is double wrapping. What Naoya Inoue is actually doing is putting tape on skin first. That's where it comes. That the phrase double stacking because of the fact that in America you put gauze first, then you stack once. In Japan, if you're able to start with tape first, then gauze, then tape. That would be the double stacking that they're talking about. So let's identify what double stacking means. So that's why I want to identify that first. Here's where the bullshit comes into play. They're making it sound what you probably never took into account. They're saying Naoya Inoue double stacks over there. Hold up. Is it just Naoya Inoue or is it all boxers? The rules state you all have the right to do it. So where's the foul come in? I can do it, you can do it. Where's the foul? We're equal. Even though it's double stacked, Naoya Inoue is getting hit with double stacked from his opponent. You do these things, the double stacking, because one, it's allowed in Japan. Two, you do it for the longevity of your hand, your money makers. Without protecting these, you can't fight now, can you? So throughout your career, you want punch hard to come out unscathed. Look at the price that a lot of fighters pay. Look at Shakur Stevenson. Did you see the size of his knuckle before that surgery? What about Floyd? What about all the careers that weren't allowed to put tape first, that could not protect their hand? How'd their careers suffer? So when they say Naoya Inoue double stacks, what do you mean? You mean the entire Japan boxing scene? And everyone that flies into that has the right to do it? So they're all doing it. And they're all, their opponents, them, everyone. Tell me again where the foul occurs here? Explain to me where the uneven, that he's doing something that no one else is doing. Explain that to me like I'm a 5-year-old. Was I supposed to jump up and say, oh shit, look, cheating? Wait a minute. Ain't you all doing it? Over there, where it counts, where you're having the fight at. Oh, so there is no foul. There is no cheating. You're all playing by the same set of rules. Oh, okay. So what the fuck are we talking about? Where is the cheating? No, there's people just saying shit. Trying to sound smart. Copy, paste, print. I heard this guy say it. Sounds smart, but I never actually broke it down. Where's the cheating come in? Where's that come into play? Not sure. Not sure. Then, when you take the Japanese dude away from the wraps, from the double stack, we've seen that before. Stephen Kubo Fulton went out to Japan, made us think about it. Naoya Inoue told his team, come into the locker room, tell my guy that's wrapping my hand, how would you like me to wrap the hand? They said, put guards first. They did it. He said, what else? He said, the tape. He said, what else? They said, that's it. He said, okay, you want me to fight like that? Hey, what happened? Was his fighting skill and his power based on tape? Was it based on double stacking? Did he not brutally knock out Scooter, Stephen Kubo Fulton, just like that, with the way they wanted him to wrap it? So where does the double stacking theory work here? When Naoya Inoue, in his legal right, legally, you signed the contract under Japan rules. You were notified about Japan rules, and their structure. You chose on the day of the fight to say this wasn't right. After you were already given the contract, read the rules, agreed to all the stipulations, and signed for the fight. Then you want to try to say, no, bro, that was just a coach with a ploy to try to get into the fighter's head. It's the gimmick. Coaches do it all the time. That's all that was. And you guys want to try to call this dude. He's not that kind of fighter because of hand wraps. You take away the hand. What did Nonito Donati do? He said it's the winning boxing gloves. Had I not had those winning boxing gloves on, I would have knocked Neil Inoue out. Same problem, same situation. What you're not taking into consideration that he had winning boxing gloves on too. If you were to take away those winning boxing gloves and put horsehair Reyes gloves on, you're fucked. You know what Nonito Donati said? He didn't view it that way. He viewed it what benefited him, and he completely ignored the danger of putting him in anything else but winning boxing gloves. What happened in the first round? The first round. The second round, he got put away. There was 10 seconds left in that first round. Nonito Donati does not make it out that round. Just 10 more seconds. And you asked for this shit, and you went and said, oh, he's a hype job. He's only this because of hand wraps, because of gloves. Each time you took away that excuse, what happened? I mean, the man can't do no more but to prove it to you. And when he proves it, they still want to force that he's a cheater. Go figure. Rather than say he's a real one. Bro, these guys are sick. They're sick in the head. Bunch of guys that just want to keep forcing a lie and nothing but. You know what the kicker is? These guys that are keep pushing the lie are actually not noble of heart. They really believe where they're getting their information from. So when they're coming back yelling this shit, it's not that they're wrong. They just been led wrong. But them themselves as a fan, they're probably noble. They probably believe in what they're being told by their favorite content boxing creator. But thank God you arrived here. Because I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you the truth. Every single, and then they came up with these supplements that he's on steroids. You guys want to go back and know where that came from? Naoya Inoue was fighting Scooter. They were taking steroid tests. During that time, Naoya Inoue in Japan, he has 2 infant children. Both of them were in diapers during this time. These steroid dudes came to his house, knocking on his door in the middle of the night, waking up the baby that him and his wife just got to bed. Just got to sleep because this baby's going to wake up in the middle of the night again. That's how little that baby was during the time. Like, yeah, man, do. We want blood and urine. Naoya Inoue. We're the steroid testers and we have the right to knock on your door at any given time to try to catch you. Right? They bang on his door. Naoya Inoue agrees. The kids are awake. They're crying. His wife is upstairs with the kids or wherever in their house. The champ is looking at these fucking dudes. I just got this baby to sleep, motherfucker. Right? I'm Japanese. And we want to be honorable. Right? But you could tell he was pissed. When is the last time Naoya Inoue made a statement about anything in boxing? For him to come out and say, bro, this fucking steroid testing is bullshit. And they come into my house like this. Like, I already gave you a test 3 days ago. Like, okay, that's not a boxer talking in frustration. You know what they did? They turned around and said, Naoya Inoue is complaining about steroid testing because he doesn't want them to test him because he must be hiding something. That's where that all came from. Exactly where it came from. The time when Naoya Inoue spoke about them going to his house and that the steroid testing was so random, so much. But you know what they didn't talk about? That every test they tested him came back negative. Why don't they say that? What they told you was, you know why? Because if you can't beat him in the ring, destroy his character, attack his character, make the fans believe that he's only winning because he's cheating. Destroy the legend of Naoya Inoue, not the actual fighter. But you're not going to beat him in the ring. But what you want to do is destroy his character. And that's exactly what they're trying to do. And I'm trying to prevent that because I'm on the line. Stop trying to beat him by fucking false. Why don't you beat him in the ring? Someone out there fucking stand up to this dude. Be that guy, bro. Where the fuck are you? Where are you? But to beat a man like this is usually how you take powerful men down. You don't beat them at what they're strong at. You attack them in other ways. You put lies into his wife's head at night so it could disrupt the household. You set his friend up with a message saying he likes your daughter. You do all this inside shit to get disruption in his team so that he doesn't even believe in his own circle. If you can't beat him in the ring, you got to find a way to beat him out, and that's what they're doing to him. That's why most of you have been told he's a hype job, hand wraps, steroid this. Don't you see that the allegations keep going on, but not one of them ever stuck? Each one of them himself, he has beaten and set to rest. But without a blink, his next fight, they're going to come up with something else. Mark my words. Thank you for tuning in here at Round One Sports Talk. Naoya and Smoke Tank. He probably does. Depending on what weight, though. In a good world, if you were to bring Tank down, he gets rocked. But if you bring Naoya Inoue to 130, that's Tank's world. I'm not sure Naoya Inoue got enough in the tank, mass to fuck with Tank that way. But if we ever got to put them in the same weight division, like equal, both guys, same height, because they're both the same height, realistically. Tank's 5'5" and Naoya Inoue's 5'5". Naoya Inoue got slightly longer arm reach. If you were to put them in a real, let's say, 126 or 122, which Tank's never going to make that weight. But hypothetically, if they were to meet, Naoya Inoue beats Tank Davis for me, for my money. He beats him. But at the higher weight divisions, 130, 135, I don't see Naoya Inoue beating Tank there. Tank's just, he'll be too much for Naoya, I think, at that weight. Yeah, he's going to have too much power. He's really fast, Tank. He's not like he got slower at 130 or 135. Kid, at 140, he was starching Mario Barrio jumping off his feet with a fucking gun. Tank's not slow. He's got good twitch muscles. good reaction time. He's a good inside fighter. Naoya Inoue is a good inside fighter. I think Naoya Inoue is a better mid-range, outrange fighter than Tank. Um, I think Naoya Inoue is craftier. Tank's gonna try to walk him down, get in the high guard, absorb some power. I think Naoya Inoue's body shots, Tank might not be ready for that. He could surprise Tank. Yes, he could. But higher in weight, Tank. I might have to give it to Tank at the bigger weights. But like Tank would never beat Naoya Inoue at 118. Never. Yeah, I don't think he would ever beat Tank. Tank would beat Naoya Inoue at 122. No. No. You can't. You can't fuck with that man at that weight. And Naoya Inoue at 118, he's a legend. That's a unicorn. No one was going to beat him at his natural weight. It's just not going to happen. That's right now. Naoya Inoue is starting to max out. You got to understand the version of you're seeing of Naoya Inoue is a weaker version of his true strength. Just remember that. What you're seeing at 122 for Naoya Inoue is a watered down version of himself. Remember that. He's been dropped twice at 122. You never dropping him at 118. Has he even been hurt at 118? Yeah. Nonito Donaire hurt on him. Orbital bone crab fracture, but he still wasn't hurt. He got wobbled one time, quick, but not hurt. No, so in fact, no one hurt him. No, you busted him up. You didn't hurt him. If you hurt him, he would have backed off. He had no fear. He wasn't hurt. So no, I take that back. No one hurt him at 118. No one gets credit for that because no one did it. No one beats him at 118. Absolutely nobody. He was too good. But as you keep going up, yeah, you're gonna keep going and breaking down. Like, yeah. Oh, thank you, honey. You're the best. Thank you. Oh, thank you. You're the best. Oh yeah, listen. My lunch has arrived. I'm gonna fight with this sandwich right here, this chicken parmesan, large chicken parmesan with extra cheese. I'm gonna try to knock him out in
Round one.
He said no. And I said,
Round one.
listen, you don't stand a chance. The glory. Let me see what you got underneath there. Huh? What you got? What color? What size color is the cheese? Hey, you guys don't be looking at my sandwich. I'm gonna roll this up. Smoke it. Imagine a blunt that big. Holy shit. That would be outrageous. That'd be a waste of bud. You can't smoke something like that. That'd just be a waste. I remember when I was young and I used to do that dumb shit. It's just a waste. Oh, bro, the cheese is sticking. Yeah, I gotta go. Come on, baby, get naked. Take that cheese off. Gotta go. Listen, fight fans, I love you guys. Have too much what? What is it? I love watching him work. Ooh. How old is Inoue now? Naoya Inoue is 33? 33, right? I can look that up for you. Hold on. But yeah, I think he's 33. Give me a second. What is he? He's 33. Crazy, huh? He's 33 years old and he has 33 professional fights. Is that an omen type shit? Have we arrived there? Remember, Xander was 23. He had 23 fights and he lost. Xander ain't no Naoya Inoue, though. I'm sorry, Xander. Maybe it was too early. I love you, Xander. Naoya's just skilled, bro. Yeah, he's just, but I just need For as much as I like him and I praise Naoya Inoue for the fighter that he is, because rightfully so, I feel that he should be getting this kind of praise, and a lot of people are not showing it. So I'm gonna do my part. I feel that he is the best. I know he is the best. I'm not convinced. I know. But the beautiful thing about Naoya Inoue, he deserves it. He earned it. I'm not giving it to him. He's not Puerto Rican, bro. He's not American. It's not like I should be back. No, he actually deserved it. So that's nods off to you, Naoya Inoue. You are something unique. I think you are exactly what the sport's been missing. I think that these young men and women out there need to take note on what Naoya Inoue is doing. There's no easy road to the top. There's no shortcuts. If you come into boxing and you plan on being the next Japanese biggest star or star period or legend in the game, then you're going to have to beat what Naoya Inoue did. He came in on Japanese. That's Japan's excellence. That's Japan's excellence as his highest standard. And Naoya Inoue came into the game and he changed the game. Now, the next Japanese kid out there that's growing up, in order to take that torch from Naoya Inoue of Japan, well, you're going to have to do what he did. That's how high he set the bar. So that's what kind of champion you want to be. That's what kind of champion. Well, then this is what you got to do. There's no shortcut. You're not going to try to play us like the NBA does with LeBron James. He doesn't have to have 6 rings to be greater than Michael. No, that's exactly what he needs to do. We never said a scoring title, longevity. Who gives a shit about that? We understand championships. That's it. I don't understand any other language or any statistic or any nothing. I only understand one thing. Did you win? Yes or no? Jordan went to the NBA finals 6 times. All 6 times, he won. You went there 10 times and came out with 4 rings? You're a bigger loser. How the hell could I? See, boxing is not like that. We need to keep boxing prestigious. Because at least the guy you're comparing him to is not so far out like comparing Conor Benn to fucking Naoya Inoue. That's what they do in the NBA. And they try to make it stick. I don't know how LeBron got to where he is, but remarkably, they got millions of kids fooled. There's no other way to say it. Bro, LeBron is not better than Kobe. He's not better than Michael Magic Johnson. He's not better. Bro, the list goes on. But somehow, he's the GOAT. This is not the NBA. This is boxing. We don't play that shit. You're going to have to earn it. Sometimes we can get on our bullshit as boxing fans. I get it. We can get on our bullshit and a little favoritism here and there. But at the end of the day, we got to keep boxing. Champion is a world champion. Cut and dry. Until Ryan Garcia got that belt, was he a world champion? Thank you, fight fans, for tuning in. Please don't forget to hit that like button for me. You know what I'm saying? Because we be locking in here at Round One Sports Talk. All right? Listen, thank you for supporting and for dealing with some of the things I deal with here. Thank you for everything that you guys do. And I'm always sports skills. Yeah. I always talk about that, my brother. Great sentiment, man. Listen, leading by example for the next kids that are coming up, a boxer got to be a professional in and out of the ring. That's what makes some of these guys unique. That's why I think they came at Camille Moulton. Yes, Camille Moen is one of them, but that's not the guy I was thinking of. That's why they came at Abdullah Mason, Xander Zayas, the Vargas kid. What do they all have in common? None of them have tattoos. None of them have gold chains. None of them talk crazy. They're all a good positive role model for children looking up to those kind of fighters. It seems like the hands that be want to dethrone those kind of fighters and put them in place with the Tank Davises of the world, the Shakur Stevensons of the world. These guys that are always into some shit. When Shakur Stevenson was at that bowling alley or whatever when that dude got shot in the head, wasn't Tank Davis flipping his car, running on pregnant women? That's what they want. They want those kind of fighters, that image, the Devin Haney, the bling bling, the ABs, the fucking that fucking bum that's with AB. I don't even know who that kid is. He's an anyway, he's just gonna become AB. Watch. So fucking that's what they want to show our kids. And the guys that are doing it the best, the entire fucking Mason clan that's doing the right thing, they're under fire, under scrutiny. But the Davis that don't make the fight, is not a professional, assaults people in hallways while your baby is in a hallway in a baby carriage. That's the message you want to send to our kids. That's why I think that our great fighters like Terrence Crawford is always under attack because they're positive role models and they don't like that shit. As long as they can keep us fighting against each other, deaf, dumb, and blind, they got us in the corner they want us. Thank you, fight fans. I hope you love my show. Please give it a like, show your support, share the videos, clip the videos. I'm on to the next one. Peace.